Pregame.com.
As you know, Fez, long shot futures, they don't have to win to make money. RJ Bell here at the Pregame.com studios, just off the Vegas Strip, and we're talking a little bit of early March Madness, the Madness baby, as I like to call it. We've got a future bet. It's mighty juicy from Fez. Let's talk about it, Fez. A couple weeks away from March Madness. Well, really, early March right now. A couple weeks away from March Madness itself. You've got a juicy one. Tell us about it.
As juicy as it gets. Oklahoma State 190 to 1, RJ.
Woo!
This one is all about their 0-6 start in conference play in the Big 12 in January. No one wanted to bet on this team during January. They've since turned it around. This is a very good team that had a very bad start to conference play. 9-2 in conference since then.
And really, in college basketball, as you know, people really start paying attention in January, right? The bowls start winding down, conference play. So to start, lose. It's going to get a lot of people, even when they start winning, this team, a lot of people are remembering all those losses. So I see the reason they're undervalued. Also, though, a new coach this year, and I found historically when a team does turn it around with a new coach, that angle of improvement is even sharper because not only are they coming in their own, but they're starting to understand the system and each other within that system.
And this team is unstoppable on offense, RJ. They're ranked number 2 in the country in offensive efficiency, just behind UCLA. That's just tremendous. And Brad Powers informed me, not only are they number 2 this year, they're the 3rd best offensive team in the past decade in college basketball efficiency.
You know, this Brad Powers, he's always got these stats, and they're also, you want to almost say, like, I don't want these stats to be that good because he's got so many of them, but they're good. I mean, just every one almost makes you reevaluate, and that's what a good stat does. It makes you reevaluate. I mean, the idea that Okie State is the 3rd best offense of all time, and we're getting them at 190 to 1. So sounds good, but let me play devil's advocate, right? Now, first off, let's be clear about something. What do you think the true odds are in this team?
Probably 100 to 1.
All right. So we're not saying they should be the favorite. We're not, but when you can buy a team at 100 to 1 or at 190 to 1, and they're really 100 to 1, that's the definition of value, right? So let's make sure, as exciting as this is, we don't think they're one of the best teams in the country. We just think they're underrated, which means we're getting really good value. That said, what do you expect their seeding to be? Because we've got a lot of history, and one of my strong suits is you go back in the modern era of the NCAA tournament, and you look at the history, and we've got a pretty stunning stat. Last 27 years, 26 times the winner's been a 4 seed or better. Do we expect a 4 seed or better?
We don't. They're going to be projected to be a 6 or a 7 seed. It could improve, though, if they can beat Kansas in their season finale or make a Big 12 run. But right now, 7 seed the same as Connecticut had the year they won the tournament recently.
So we're saying 1 out of 27. But I guess if you're getting 190 to 1, but obviously it could be another non-4 seed this year. But this is a great segue into the sponsor of this video. We have a sponsored video, a company here in Vegas I've been quite impressed by, Prop Swap. You know about them. And here's the concept, is you take any ticket here in Vegas. It can be on a side, a total, whatever, but mostly now it's the future bets because you've got all that time from the time you buy it until the event happens, right? The Super Bowl or whatever. And here's the beauty of it. At any point from the time you buy it, you can sell it. So it's like an eBay. You put it up to sell and people can buy it. And the beauty is that, let's just do a hypothetical here on this one. Okie State, 190 to 1 right now. They make the tournament 6 or 7 seed. They win in the first round. They should be favored, right? 6 seed, 7 seed should be favored. They win in the second round. Now, the beauty is if they stay out of the 8, they avoid playing the 1, right? So let's say that's a key here. What do you project? And we're just projecting Okie State would be as a Sweet 16 participant. What would their updated odds be?
They'll be approximately 30 to 1. And before all the naysayers say, oh, they'll be higher than that because they'll have to play a really tough team.
So when you say higher, you mean 40, 50, 60 to 1? Okay.
Right. And the reason that they won't be higher is they play Kansas on Saturday, the number 1 team in the country. It's true. The game.
All right. So we're taping on March 1st. And this upcoming Saturday, they're playing Kansas. Go ahead.
And that's the #1 team in the country. Kansas doesn't get any tougher, although they are home. Brad Powers projects that line to be pick'em, RJ.
All right, and that's a power ratings, and I know Sagarin agrees with that too. So what we're saying is Okie State's within about 4.5 points of the best team in the country right now. So even on a neutral, even if they did play a #1, that might be jacked a little bit because, the public's so involved in March Madness. But even if it was 1-8, you're saying they'd be like a 5 or 5.5 point underdog.
Yeah, they're better than the average 6 seed.
Yeah. And so now here's the thing though. Let's do the math with prop swap. If they win the 2 games and they go from 190 to 1 to 30 to 1, you just about 6 times your money. So if you had $100 in, again, probably you're not going to put 100 on such a big long shot, but let's just say for round numbers, you had 100 on it. You could sell your ticket for right around $600. So really what it shows you is, and this is the beauty of these guys, is usually in the past, it was you bet the prop or the future, and you either win or you lose. And if you have a big long shot, every once in a while it's going to be Christmas, but even when you have a good bet, they're going to lose. Now, you can start hedging at a certain point, right? But man, oh man, it gets expensive. All those hedges, the VIG on each one of them. The idea that I can pick a team like Okie State and 6 times my money for them winning 2 games, and one of them they're going to be a clear favorite in, it just shows you, and again, this is no short thing, it just shows you with prop swap, it's a situation that there's just so many other new ways to earn from a good future bet.
And I might want to do 2 hedges, do a little small hedge in the Sweet 16, wait for the Final Four, and then put a little more of a hedge down.
Yeah, so it is something where you would have to sell your whole ticket. And that's a great question. So, and it could be a situation too, let's say, that's a great example. Let's just take, we weren't planning on this, but let's take a minute with it. So let's say it is 30 to 1. What you could do is make a little bet on the money line on that game and create an old school hedge. And then if you lose, well, hey, you benefited from that. Because you hedged it. But if you win, now might be down to 18 to 1, 16 to 1, and now you can sell it for even more than, 800, 900, whatever it ends up being.
Create your portfolio.
Yeah. So really what happens is now you've got the old school hedges, which oftentimes, they're expensive and sometimes they're even difficult to really calculate. Let's be honest, a guy like you can figure it all out. It's hard to know, hey, if there's a bunch of games for me to play, you don't know who they're going to play next. You don't know what the odds would be on that game. You can really, with this approach, not only have less expense to your hedging, but you also can really lock in the price, and you always get the price you want, right? You don't have to sell it. It's not like you put it up and you're obligated to sell it like an auction or something. It's, I want X. I got $100 ticket. I want 600. If you want to give me 600, great. If you don't. My understanding is these tickets that are priced fairly sell really fast. Any last thoughts? And then we'll get to actually the second point on Okie State.
I just think this is going to become bigger and bigger.
I got a feeling you're going to be pretty involved in this. You're going to be gobbling up. You might be buying that ticket.
I'm going to be laying the other way on a lot of these tickets, yes.
All right, so let's go back to Okie State. Give us your second major point.
We talked about their offense. Now let's talk about their improved defense. 0-6 start to conference play, gave up 80 points in 5 of those 6 games. Since then, the last 11 games, only 2 of their opponents have cracked 80. Their defense greatly improved.
All right, so we talked about the coach and the idea of the sharp improvement line. What's driving this improvement on the defensive side?
Well, Okie State is a team that's flexible and they can press. They were pressing too much. They're pressing all over the place and getting beat down the court. Now they're selectively pressing. It's making their defense much more effective.
So it's a change of style.
Absolutely.
So in a weird way, the team that lost the first 6 games of the conference, this is a different team in some ways. I'll be honest with you. I might sprinkle a little something on this. Let's make it official.
All right, NCAA tournament. My first future bet, Oklahoma State 190 to 1. Oklahoma State is undervalued due to an 0-6 start in conference play. They're on a current 9-2 run with the number 2 offense in the country right now. And their increased emphasis on D makes them a better tournament team. They've held 9 of their last 11 points to under 80 points. We're taking a shot with Oklahoma State at 190 to 1, betting a little less than the unit, but certainly it will pay a great amount. More videos at pregame.com.